Hey, imagine I tell you, play me a 1-4-5 in the key of G. Would you know how to do that? Or what are the chords in the key of A? Or even a simpler question. Imagine you came and see me, we're gonna jam together, or you're going to visit some friend's house and they tell you, play me something. Would you know what chords go together well, or would you just start guessing and playing random chords? Well, to know all this comes in. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh no, theory, here we go. No. This is super simple. I taught this yesterday to my 6-year-old, and even he can understand it. Now, this you see on screen, it's called the circle of fifths, and you've probably seen it before, but everyone tries to overcomplicate things, and it's so easy to understand and to use. First of all, we're going to choose a chord in the outer layer. I'm going to choose A, for example, and that's our key. That's the key of the chord progression we're going to play, right? So to figure out what chords belong to a key, we just have to follow the alphabet and count to 7. So we start on the root, on the key of the song, right? Or the key of the progression. That's A. That's our first chord. What's our second chord? If we just follow the alphabet, we got to locate a B next to that A. So what's our second chord? B minor. That's our second chord in the key of A. What's our next chord? C, but it's actually a C sharp minor. That's how useful this circle of fifths is. It's telling us the first chord in the key of A is A. The second chord is B, following the alphabet, B minor. The third chord is C sharp minor. Following the alphabet, we go to D, so it's a D major. Following the alphabet, we go to E, that's an E major. The sixth chord is going to be F, in this case F sharp minor, and there's a seventh note, but that's a diminished chord, and that's going to be the G sharp minor. We're not going to talk about the diminished in this video, okay? That's for another video. So you see that it follows a little pattern. I can cut a slice out of that circle of fifths. So if I move that slice to another chord I choose, for example, C, is it going to work the same? Let's check it out. So our first chord is C. That's where we start. That's the key of the progression we're going to play. If we follow the alphabet, what's the next letter in the alphabet? D, right? Well, that's a D minor. That's the second chord in the key of C. What's the third chord following the alphabet? E. In this case, E minor. What's the fourth chord? F, F major. What's the fifth chord? G, G major. What's the sixth chord following the alphabet? Oh, it ended. So now we got to start in the beginning again. A, in this case, A minor. Those are your 6 chords inside of the key of C. Isn't that simple? And you can do this for any chord you choose. Let's do it for D, for example. I just place that little slice of circle of fifths, that slice of pie, and it's going to give me all the chords in the key of D. Now the cool thing is that all these chords inside of this slice in the key of D work well together. You can combine them however you want and create your own chord progression. So next time someone tells you, play me something, I'm going to be like, I'm going to start with D, and then randomly I'm going to choose whatever, G. And then I'm going to jump to whatever, B minor, and then I'm going to jump to A. How good does that sound, right? Let's do another one. Let's start with D, jump to A, for example. Then I'm going to jump to E minor, and then to F sharp minor. Back to D. They all sound good because they all belong to the same key. If you want to play it in the key of A, you just move that slice, and all those chords are going to sound great in context with A because A is your key, right? So imagine I tell you in the key of A, hey, play me a 1-4-5. How would you figure that out, right? Well, you know A is your first chord. If you follow the alphabet, B minor is going to be your 2 chord. Follow the alphabet, C sharp minor is going to be your 3 chord. D is going to be your 4 chord. And E is going to be your 5 chord, right? You just followed the alphabet. So if I tell you play me a 1-4-5, you're going to play A, D, E. But what if I complicate things and tell you like, play me a 1-2-6-5 in the key of A. You're like, oh no, here we go. No problem. A is your 1, right? Follow the alphabet. B minor is your 2. So there you have your 1, 2, right? And then you got to look for a 6. So C sharp minor is going to be your 3. D is going to be your 4. E is going to be your 5. We're looking for a 6. So if we follow the alphabet, F sharp minor is going to be your 6, right? So now we have the 1, the 2, the 6, and now we're looking for a 5, which was E. How simple is this? And you can do this. I'm going to tell you, play me a 1, 2, 6, 5 in the key of C. You just got to move the slice, move everything, and now you can play a 1, 2, 6, 5 in the key of C, which would be C, D minor, A minor, G. Easy, right? If you want to know more on chord progressions and chord theory and how to find, fret, and play any chord across the fretboard, using triads, using caged, moving freely and playing weird looking chords that look really cool, 7, sus2, sus4s. I've got this little book for you, 160 pages full of colored diagrams, spiral bounded, printed in color with videos, with explanations just like this one's to make your learning curve easy and accessible without theory jargon. You see we used practically none, right? Instead of trying to overcomplicate things, things are much easier than they look. Go and check that little book out, and I'll see you inside.